that I was live earlier, but I actually wasn't, so that was a bit of a mistake. We've got a game with round 6 towns, and fakirs are picked into the first seat with both ship tiles, so cultists are also in it. It's a mega sandwich. I think that fakirs are probably the worst faction here, given round 6 town scoring. Um, to me, it looks like mermaids are the best. They're outside of they should just win network comfortably. Fakirs might have an okay shot at winning network, but cultists will be an issue for them, especially with the ship tiles. Um, I think that darklings, I was saying, have a good game plan. They just town here. They try to ship to the north, town here, and then they town over here in the east somewhere, maybe by crowding cultists. Um, there's like a vague world where you also town through here, but I think that that's probably a little too much to ask for in this game. So yeah, my goal as darklings would just to try to be to get to tempt ship and grab B2 early. Um, the call rewards are interesting. The first priest to air will be good. It comes with double rewards. Putting priests to water can also be pretty decent this game. This is a game where I don't believe in opening with a dwelling rush as mermaids. I think that you want to take the spade and you just want to do kind of more normal things. It is possible that you might want to take Fire 1 as your first favor. I also don't think it's crazy to take Earth 1 as your first favor as mermaids here, because while it is a good scoring track, you should already have big economic advantages as mermaids. I think cultists will struggle to make 3 towns here, and they could close out these cults. I guess cultists can take it. Okay, so we've got everyone is already picked. It looks like everyone got the faction that they bid on, which is kind of neat. I think we are going to start D5, even though this might not get a neighbor. This is just a really good hex for expanding, but it is a little awkward because this is where we want to place our sanctuary. I suppose that it's not as big of a deal because in this game, we should be able to expect fakirs will eventually come here. Also, this is a landscapes game, so even if we just get these like 3 hexes or something, we should still be able to drop a landscape, and we don't need a sanctuary there. We can also try to get up through here. Towning through here, through these 4 hexes, is a possibility. We will get fakirs here eventually, so these hexes will have a neighbor to make TPs on. So I'm assuming that darklings should grab C1 and make life a little difficult in terms of trying to town through these hexes. But I'm thinking right now maybe like a town through here, a town through here, and a town through here. I think that's all pretty reasonable. Just need to get some spades. Darklings do start C1, which is a little sad, but I mean that's why they were bid so hard. I actually don't think that opening with tempt ship is that bad for darklings. Now they do want to open with a temple, but they could open tempt ship, take a worker's action, temple here, and then build these 2 hexes. Cultists are probably starting F5. They need a neighbor. It's unfortunate that they struggle with making a town, and they can't double dig effectively because darklings will take it from them, but they have stuff going for them. I'm not too concerned. Not a lot of coins on the pass. There's spades and priests and workers. There's this 6 coins pass tile, and there's 2 mediocre coins pass tiles. So round 4 TPs, this might be where we try to start getting our coins going. It's just not clear to me when we're building temples, when we're taking water 1 and stuff, when we're taking earth 1 and stuff. So I'm considering just templing early. Okay, so I do have a neighbor to start the game. I think that taking the spade is just pretty decent. We're going to want at least 1 spade in round 1, so let's just take that. we should always be able to just dig F2, build H2. So like in the worst case, like the absolute worst thing that can happen here is we get Earth 1 blocked, we temple, and then we build these 2 hexes. Darklings take the priest, which I don't really agree with. Cultists at this point should whoa, Zizak, buddy. What is this? Darklings are just going to dig G6 on you first action. Oh, man. I mean, I guess Zach is still a little inexperienced, and to be fair, he started bidding on a sandwiched faction that isn't Darklings and doesn't have a way to generate spades. I don't think that there's any way Cultists were the best here, so I don't love this for our friend Zach. I am concerned for Zach's safety given this opening. I do think that it is probably correct to open 2 temples, though. Just take this guy. And yeah, it's temple opening, just temple here, temple here. But yeah, H7 is way worse than F5. Like, so this is pretty rough. This is really, really good for Darklings, though. Darklings, once they grab G6, they have 2 neighbor spots. They have lots of cheap digs. This effectively takes Cultists out of the game, like in terms of disrupting Darklings. They have to ship so aggressively to beat Darklings up here, and I don't think that that's going to happen. So it does look like Darklings being bid down was pretty correct. In terms of how we should adapt to this, I think that we probably want to, if we can, we might want to rush B3. So in round 1, it's not insane for us to, if we get double dig in round 1, which is not crazy, Cultists take 10 ships, so maybe they'll try to come up here. No, they can't, because they need a priest and a spade to get to 2 ship and get this. It's pretty rough. Fakir's getting the 2 workers tile is completely wrong. This should not have happened. This is the best pass tile in this game, so I don't think that's correct for Fakirs to be getting that like in round 1 when they're in the first seat. They can now open 2 temples and be super, super happy. Armsved, you would love to be Fakirs here. I mean, to be clear, this is not a good track for Fakirs, right? This is not a good track. However, there's double air rewards. Okay, so Zach grabs E4, which I think is pretty reasonable. So I am going to get double spade here. So I think that my double spade probably goes C3, F2. These hexes here aren't threatened. I take this, and then I use my bonus spade on B3. I think that that's the plan here. Darklings would have to advance ship now, I think, to disrupt me, really. Or, I mean, they could TP, then advance ship. They start with a priest to water. That doesn't scare me much. But yeah, this looks quite good for Fakirs, for sure. If Fakirs play this right, okay, they don't play it right, so they temple. But there was a world where they were getting the double spade. If they upgraded next to Cultists here, then I wasn't gonna have the leech to double spade. I was the only, like, if Cultists upgrade E6, then I also don't get leech to double spade. They do just rush Earth 1 though. If I'm Darklings, I'm now upgrading down at G5, I think. But they probably want workers first. I think that there's a pretty good case for just taking Earth 1 here if it's still there. We'll see if it is. Yeah, it does look like Fakirs have a town here, and depending on how fast Darklings rush up here, Fakirs could have this town as well. Cultists give me some leech, that's lovely. They're going up the air track, that makes sense. It's a little sad that you're not getting air rewards in round 1. That would really help to bolster your economy, I think. So Darklings do upgrade up there, so if I temple, then I'm giving Fakirs double dig, so I do have to take double dig. So let's go here, here. I don't think we're having the fastest round anyway, so we're not getting the 7 coins tile, so we might as well just play it a little slower and see what happens here. Because I do think that I kind of just want Earth 1 here. There's a good chance that I just get blocked from Earth 1 as well. Whoa, what? Fakir's Sanctuary for Air 2, I guess? I mean, Air 2 is good, but I was totally expecting a second temple here for Fakirs. I think that the 4 points that you get from this is better than the 4 points that you get from this. This should be Air 2. Air 2 is very strong for Fakirs. There's air rewards. This game is drunk. I mean, this game is pretty crazy. They take Earth 2, which I love Earth 2. I don't think it's particularly correct here, though. So yeah, Fakirs should be beating Darklings up to B2. Now that this Priest of Water, I feel like, was quite bad, especially as your first action of the game. That's okay. People are allowed to do bad things. So Zach has to decide what favor tile he wants. He's going to have the fastest round, or Fakirs have the fastest round, I suppose, but... Getting Earth 1 blocked here is probably a bit of a bummer, but we just take Fire 1 instead, and I think that we're completely fine then. Like, we're used to playing games without Earth 1. We should be okay. Zach goes up the air track. Let's see what favor he takes. He takes Air 2. Okay. So we are getting Earth 1 if we want it. The question is, do we want it? Like, we could Fire 1 here and then Sanctuary next round. Let's see if we're getting that Sanctuary tile. Fakirs are passing. I'm probably not getting the Sanctuary tile, right? This actually pass right onto that Sanctuary tile. Let's just take Earth 1 and see what happens. Again, my plan is C3, B3 here. I think that B2 is getting built next round, so that's a good spot for Leech. And also it cuts off Darklings from shipping options. I have 2 free hexes to build next round, so I have plenty of natural expansion. I'm struggling a little for Leech. I might want Cultist Temp Ship Tile, but I might also get this. So I think that there's lots of good options out there right now, which is good. Sadly, it looks like the big building tile is not really an option. Now that I've taken Earth 1, I don't have the coins to take advantage of that. I think Cultists 100% should pass onto this. That's just me, though. They actually have like a weird, like there's a weird world where they get this double spade, because Darklings have been so bad about prioritizing this that Cultists might actually be able to double spade up through here. This actually wound up not being quite as bad for Cultists as we had feared, because, like, first of all, they should have taken 2 workers that they could have done this. They could have also started here, but they do have an outside shot at getting double spade on G6, and then they can make this town. Here's Darklings. They take Air 2 as well. I love this. I love this Air 2 Darklings take. Build our stuff. They do need either workers or coins here. They take the workers. That makes plenty of sense. Darklings. So Darklings have 2 priests off to cult, so they will probably want like a 2-key town or something this game. Um, so next round we're really just building 2 dwellings. The best thing that we can do is get this guy. Then we're not getting any leech unless it's from fakirs, so maybe we also want to take a power tile so that we can take a coins action if it comes to us. We'll have 4 workers to work with. 2 of them are spoken for here. So Darklings pass on to the one that I wanted most, which I suspected might happen. I guess I could also take the priest. And the priest could go to either Earth or probably water. I don't think I'm passing on to this guy just yet, but maybe there's a case for it. My round is 3 actions. Darklings could have a round that's only 1 action. Or I'm not going to pass first this round, right? So I have at least 2 actions, plus probably a priest to a cult, plus maybe coins. And fakirs might have a really fast round. Yeah, okay. So I'm not having a fast round. I would love to get on this guy for round 3, but it doesn't seem like that's super likely. So I say I might as well just take a really long round then, and then see what's left over for me. Yeah, I think that with all these players having all these resources, I'm not going to get the coins action. So I'm not going to pass on to power tile. I'm going to try to claim a 3 spot if I can, and then I probably go up the air track if I can. There's the double dig from fakirs. Cultists, I probably just... It's a little sad that you're not getting this. I would not be shocked if the Zach double hard dug this, but it does look like Darklings aren't getting that yet, so I think that taking the coins is also perfectly fine. Taking the coins and opening and going Sanctuary Earth 1 I think would be pretty strong for cultists. Don't really want Darklings to get those coins. Zach does take coins. Darkling's probably just Sanctuary Earth 1 now. That's what I would do at least. By the way, I ragged on Darklings for what they did with sending 2 priests off, but I think that sending the priest to air was pretty inspired, so I do approve of that. Like we said, we're not going to worry too much about having the fastest round. We could have built F2 and gotten ourselves a little bit more leech from fakirs, but I do think that this priest to earth is pretty decent. It should be some points for us. We'll send priest to air after this, and then we'll build these 2 guys. Hopefully we can pass on to like this coins guy, but like there's so many good pass tiles out there. The temp ship is also really good. Yeah, there's at least 3 pass tiles that I want. Temp ship, the ship VP, and either of these guys here, these 2 coins tiles. And the spade, of course. I don't think there's any way I'm getting the spade, given how long of a round I've decided to take here. This leech has been really good. I now have power to directly convert into coins, even without a coins action. I mean, I guess like one thing I could do is I could just pass here, then take a coins action, and then build a bunch of stuff next round. I would have 8 workers still. So like I could take coins, build, advance, take coins, build, hard dig, advance ship, build A11. That's something that I could do. But I think that having more workers is better. So I know that that's a hot take, but I will just believe in the power of economy here. Um, I might want to hang a bridge here at some point. Um, don't know if it's this early when I still want coins, but we should keep that in mind. It does look like there's not a lot of bridge pressure this game. No one seems to want to bridge too badly. Darklings, if I'm Darklings, I'm just passing for temp ship right now. Open with coins. Oh, they grab 2 workers, so they might dig G6 now. Whatever. I am not responsible for Darklings' decisions. I am responsible for my decisions. Fakirs are now in position. They take a priest. I don't know what this priest is for. I guess next round they can use it, but Zizak, if Zizak passes onto a power tile, then Zizak can actually grab a double dig here. It's a little sad right now for cultists that Fakirs could fly and build this red hex. But I want someone to build this quite a bit. Cultists want this stuff here. But now they really have, like, by investing this single dig, they really have committed to trying to make a town in the center. I really do hope that this yellow hex gets built very soon. This hex is important for me because it gives me neighbors to make TPs. And I need those TPs for a town. Our round consists right now of building H2 and sending a priest probably to air. This is a huge leech for Darklings here. I don't know why Darklings built this hex in particular. Oh no! This is not good. This is not good. Well, I mean, I guess it's not that bad because of this cult income. If Fakirs stay in this round, then this is good. Fakirs might fly and build this right now. If Fakirs stay, then that's bad for cultists too. Nothing's great for cultists right now. But the lack of action in the East has been one of the surprising subplots for me. Okay. I do think that at this point, if it's still me, then I am going to have to pass. I was talking about sending a priest to the air cult. I think that seems silly now. I should just pass. I probably pass onto this, and I open with a coins action. I advance ship once, hard dig build, and I get 6 points plus a bunch of coins. Send priest to water in that case, get an extra priest. And then I make some TPs. I probably don't get water 1. I don't have the economy for it, but I can just make TPs in round 4, and then maybe temple for air 1 in round 5. Along with building some more TPs. But I really need neighbors. That's a problem for us right now. So Fakirs are going to open with a double spade. Fakirs are in a very strong position right now. I did say that they should have taken Air 2, but it looks like this Earth 2 should be just fine for them, considering that they don't really need the power. They can double spade either B2 or D4. It does look like B2 is better for them, sadly. I really, really want this hex to get built, but it looks like that won't happen. Cultists put a priest to air. Seems good. Darklings need to pass. We'll see if they take the printed coins or if they take... I think temp ship is pretty good. But now that Fakirs have passed, it looks like this is out. So they take the coins, which I think is perfectly fine. I am clearly passing for a victory point tile here. The question is which one is better. I don't think I'm getting a coins action. Oh, actually, I am getting a coins action, right? So this is a little more economy. This is like a slightly fewer points, slightly more economy. This is like taking a 3 for 2, right? I think I'm getting out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm getting out like all my stuff next round. I'm getting at like 7-ish dwellings next round. Maybe I hard dig twice. Hard dig, build. I don't see any reason to have to hard dig this. I could just ship advance to get to here. And then maybe I dig this with like some cult spades or something later. This is probably a 3 towns game and not a 4 towns game. I opened Earth 1. I don't have like quite the neighbors down here to make this happen. So I think this is just fine. Yeah, this should be fine. It's just a little more economy. This comes with nothing. This comes with 3 power. That 3 power could come in handy later. And I should be able to advance my ship once. So. Zach does have a bunch of workers coming in, so this TP isn't that bad. I over-criticized that. I am optimistic that this gets built. But in any case, as long as fakirs don't upgrade next to darklings, I should be getting a coins action. So they take B2, which was expected. They take G2, so they're going to be able to build out 1, 2, 3, and then they should be able to use this as well. So I think fakirs right now look like they're in a pretty winning position. 1, 2, 3, 4 dwellings in a dwelling round. 4 more dwellings in a dwelling round with Earth 1. Darklings just dig so that they can get this. It really looks like they're going to give cultists this stuff if cultists are allowed to. This is very welcome. This gives me the neighbor that I've wanted so desperately. Cultists probably have to just hard double dig G6 or like Act 5 double dig G6 or something. Yeah, they Act 5 double dig G6. Unfortunately, I'm not getting this neighbor, which I really want. I'm looking, so the power spade went, which was like kind of an option for me. I'm wondering if I can hang this priest now, or this bridge. It doesn't look that bad. Darklings declined to accept the power. Zach is a little sad about that. Let's see. Is there a world where we advance ship twice, and instead of building this up here, we just build these 2 free hexes? I think that it's better to build this, because this is a town spot for us. So that's my logic up there for digging instead of shipping heavily. It's a real bummer for Zizak to be stuck on this tile. I think that temp ship was probably better here. This is like 3 points. I think that the temp ship could have helped him to get like up to here maybe. Maybe there's no chance and that was just fine anyway, but it's sad in my opinion. Fakirs have 3 more dwellings to build this round, including flight. It's all very strong. There's still a priest to fire, just wide open. But I don't think that I really want that one. I think I want the priest to water. It gets me an extra priest, and I don't think I'm getting that many points on the fire track anyway. Especially, well, the thing is I do want fire 2 this game, but a lot of my opponents will want fire 2 as well. So there might be a fire 2 rush, in which case I might lose out on it. That would be kind of sad. I do have the ability to secure fire 2 before other players, though. Because I'm mermaids, I'm not going to force myself to make an early town if I take fire 2. Darklings are probably just passing to the big building tile now. I think that that's what I would be doing here. Zizak claims the first priest to fire, so I don't need to worry about that silly distraction. I would not have done this if I were fakirs. I think that the right hex to build was A6, because now he's used up his priest and he can't fly to I7. So if fakirs have cost themselves one dwelling in the dwelling round, it might not be a big deal, but that's the type of small inefficiency that might add up. Darklings do indeed do as I thought that they would. This is good though, because this means fakirs, once they get a priest, they are coming to B4. So I'm going to hopefully be able to make some TPs through here as well. So yeah, even though I disagree with Fakir's decision to fly to A7 this round, it makes me happy for next round. By the way, this is incredibly kind for cultists. Starting on H7 instead of F5 is also incredibly kind because G4 and G7 are left open. I totally disagree with Darklings though. Like, I really don't understand this. Like not taking G6 sooner. These hexes were not under threat whatsoever. So I mean, Zizak is actually winding up in a much better position than I thought he should be. Like Darklings have gotten themselves no benefit from this G5 hex. Like either take this leech or cut cultists off. Letting cultists just build right around you without taking the leech, and like they took away your easy town spot. I don't understand this at all. Okay, whatever. It's their prerogative. Looks like I could be passing on to this victory point tile. I would have liked the 7 coins, but I can definitely live with getting some more victory points. We'll put our priest to water. Right now our power is coins, so we're not going to take a priest and send it to water, even though I would love to lock that up. It's probably too hasty. Sadly, it looks like D4 is still not getting built. Oh, B4 gets built. This is fantastic. Okay. Fakirs and Darklings can afford Water 1. Cultists already have Water 1. So I think that the right play here is I don't worry about Water 1, and I take it in round 5 if I'm allowed. I take Water 1, Fire 1 this round if I'm allowed to, or Fire 2 this round if I'm allowed to. Darklings, by the way, right now don't look like they particularly want Fire 2. They need to carve out some town space, but we'll see how that goes. Fakirs have a priest deficit. They made a lot of points, admittedly, but are they looking for a town through here? Maybe I need to secure B5. Yeah, I can't afford Water 1 this round, so I don't worry about that. I hard dig B5. I TP. I send priests to water if I'm allowed. Can't really risk Fakirs digging this weirdly, so. Cultists send a priest to Earth. They're going to secure their territory. Cultists have 2 economic favors. I didn't realize that they sanctuaried for Earth too. So Okay, so here comes the 2-key town from Darklings. I assume this is 2-key town. I don't really see anything else that they really want. Oh, they take a ship town, but where are they shipping to? Are they trying to make a town through here? That seems pretty tough. This does make Darklings a little less scary as well. They've towned early. They didn't take the 2-key town, so cultists had the advantage there. Cultists are looking pretty decent, actually. They should be able to just cult spade this to brown, or they might put it in a safer spot and then double spade this next round. So cultist spot has actually looked pretty bolstered, surprisingly. Like, I really think that if Darklings were towning this early, that they were supposed to take the 2-key town, especially given that they invested so much into these cults. They could steal this cult away from cultists still. Do I just want a fast round here? I could just I have all my dwellings on the board. I'm on the dwelling tile. If I pass, I get the coins action and I get this next round. Seems pretty dang good. Maybe I'll just make 1 TP right now as a sign of goodwill. It also is just good for income. Okay, now we're ready to pass. Okay, so Darklings, I mean, the ship town is because Darklings want to come down through here. That's pretty understandable. We might want to hang our bridge soon. Fakirs are in process of grabbing water 1. Seems reasonable. Yeah, I can't really guarantee myself water 1, so we need to stop worrying too much about that. Can I get 2 priests off to the air cult and get a spade? I probably can't. It's probably better for me to put a priest to water if I do put a priest off. Is anyone passing here? Cultists might pass and take this. Then I just get their spade, maybe? That seems okay to me. I just keep thinking, like, is there anything that I could want? I think that I do want this last priest to water. This might be getting a little too greedy with this guy here, but the leech is helping out quite a bit. Leech is getting to a point where next round, if I'm offered coins and water 1, then I will take water 1. Zach makes a TP. Okay. Well, now there's no way that Zach doesn't pass. So I need to figure out if it's time for me to pass, or if I want that. No, you know what? It's ridiculous for me to stay in this round. I have done far too much staying in this round already. Leave ourselves space to take a little bit of leech, so I don't really see why I'm getting it. I guess Fakirs might give us a little bit. Fakirs could upgrade this, but I think that they want their TPs in town spots. So this is just sounder play, I think. Oh, Fakirs got leech, and they just haven't used their priest this round yet. Fair enough. Fakirs immediately defend their territory, but honestly, they should have flown here earlier. This leech from Darklings is nice. Like, they could have gotten this leech from Darklings as opposed to vice versa. Cultists are doing completely fine, right? They're winning 3 cults. They might win 4 cults. They're not, like, they're not connecting, but neither are Darklings, so there is a chance that they get network points as well, and they're at 65 victory points. So yeah, okay, they get the 2-key town now, so that actually hurts their point ceiling. I actually thought that they could have waited on the 2-key town because they were already getting the spades that they wanted anyway. Darklings make another TP. It is possible that the move that I should have done, instead of sending these priests off, was to make another TP. I'm willing to accept that possibility. That water 1 looks very wrong to me. Not because water 1 is bad. Water 1 is good for fakirs. I was saying that they could afford it. But because they made a TP in the round where they took water 1, before they took water 1. Just take water 1 first, right? So that looks like a mistake to me. Grateful for my opponents giving me something, you know? Can Darklings get to 3 ship and get this hex and make their town? They probably can if they just dedicate themselves to it. They could end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 stuff on their board. Right now, I need to get a lot of stuff out to get all my build structures out as well. My blue hexes are vanishing, so these last 2 blues I might want to secure at some point. I have some spades that I want to put down. I probably want to put down this spade and this spade for my town spot still, and I need a spade for here. So those are my remaining obligations this game. So my priorities this round, I'm not looking to pass fast or anything. I want the coins action. That's what I have to do. I want a bridge. I want a priest to the water track, and I want a temple for water 1. Those are my biggest goals, and we'll see if I'm able to how many of those I'm able to achieve. Priority-wise, I would probably think that the bridge is most important after the coins. It does look like fakirs already have water 1. Darklings can't afford water 1 unless they get onto the coins tile. Which, why shouldn't they get on the coins tile, right? Darklings will also want the bridge, actually, so that's awkward. Yeah, it is troublesome for me if Darklings do get that bridge, because then I'm in danger of not making my town late. But I can't really get away with that without taking the coins. I have to take the coins here. There's no world where this ends well if I don't have coins. Which means that this priest is probably the odd man out. Because multiple players can take the priest from me. Darklings probably spade this guy. Temp ship is now really rich. The big building tile is still open, so I think that Darklings could very well be tempted to have a fast round where they just temple, TP, dwelling, pass. Okay, cultists are finally building this, which is beautiful. Yeah, this game plan will be a failure if I don't secure this bridge, so we'll see if Darklings prioritize that or water 1. If they do take the bridge, then I grab water 1 right away. I think that Darklings have enough to carve. Actually, Darklings really have enough to carve this town and this town, right? They could take F5, E9 for a town, and then G3, I8 for a town. So their temple is going to be for Fire 2, probably. So actually, that's good news for me. I should be able to get water 1. I should be able to get my bridge. I'm going to be a friend to cultists. That said, if they do go up the water track, then I won't be a friend to cultists anymore. And maybe I should be thinking more about like the points value of that, but whatever. Yeah, they do go up the water track. They'll probably drop the last priest onto water now. Darklings do that. They don't take either of the actions that I wanted. Can I be greedy enough to put this priest off? This might be an insane move, but I don't think I'm losing both Water 1 and the bridge here. Only Darklings can take either of those. And they showed no interest in taking either before, so... This priest isn't that important, I guess. Like, I think that with Water 1, I could have just sent a priest off for one step and still gotten the second spade. So it's arguable that that wasn't needed. I might be ending this round with no pass tile. Yeah, I do think that Darkling's last favor is probably Fire 2. They can't really afford 2 more temples for Fire 2 and for Water 1. If I do get Water 1 block, maybe I just take... Maybe I actually just take Fire 1 then? Oh, cultists gave up on the water track by going up the fire track. I hope that that's what I'm seeing. Zach doesn't down convert. I would have down converted there. Now you're missing out on this free leech. Alright, so I'm going to make the claim that the bridge is safe, that Water 1 is good here, and that I will get this bridge anyway. Whoops. No, sorry. No, that is what I wanted to do. I was going to say that this game is blazing, but it isn't. I started the stream after the factions had already been chosen. I was a little confused at first, but wow, fakirs are really crushing in terms of points. Darklings also have a lot of points, so I do need to be pretty worried. If we can get Fire 2 this round, that would be beautiful. I guess I would probably have to Sanctuary for Fire 2. No, that kills my economy too much. Darklings are done. They don't have anything else to do this round. Oh no, actually cultists don't want Fire 2, right? So that's good news for me, yeah. Okay. So we have just enough stuff to build out all of our TPs here. We have 10 coins, plus 1 here is 11 coins. I can put my priest to a cult for 1 power, for effectively 1 coin going here. So then I'll be able to make TP, 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 TP. And then next round I'll have to get Fire 2 if I can. Which we're just going to close our eyes and pray for, I think. Should cultists pass early, which, I mean, I guess it's not that early. They didn't have enough stuff to make another TP. Um, all right, darklings lock that up. I would love to pass on to this, but I can't. I just need I need to do stuff here. I can't not build TPs here. I could just end up on this spade, which is not so bad. I need the spade for my landscape, and I'm going to be pretty worker tight next round. I'm only going to have 4 worker income, and I'm going to have 3 workers here. So I'm going to have 7 workers to work with next round. 2 of those are spoken for in terms of dwellings. So fakirs, by the way, just are killing it in terms of points. I didn't expect their game to go this well, but I guess it makes sense. But yeah, like having one more town than my opponents doesn't appear to be enough. The gap is just too big. So this could be pretty rough for us. Could be possibly losing a whole bunch of elo here. Fakirs take a big leech, which I greatly approve of that leech. So I'm gonna get this spade. They should just take 7 coins here. You can figure out a way to use 7 coins. Wow, they look like they're beating me in terms of network as well. This is really brutal. How have I just... Is this just what happens when I play for Earth 1? I just don't have like the stuff to do anything else. I'm not commentating through this, but obviously I'm just building TPs right now. Whoops, no, I don't want to undo. I just want to convert. Fakirs are actually missing out on a lot of cheap leech by taking the expensive leech, which is at least a small inefficiency in their game. Okay. Will this go fire 2, fire 2, fire 2? Unlikely, I think. Okay. Yeah, so Zach wants a stronghold, right? So Zach probably takes coins to open the round. And that means that I should be able to get fire 2. I will temple for fire 2 instead of sanctuary for it. Actually, I did catch up in points, so that is nice that I managed to catch up a bit in points. If I do manage to get 3 towns here, then that should hopefully be enough. So, God, I'm gonna have 3 dwellings left on my board, so maybe I need a double spade as well. It's really tight. It's very, very tight for me. I'm not going to beat Fakirs on network, so hopefully I'll have a sufficient advantage in cults. Zach does open with coins. Okay, so I am going to temple for fire 2 here. So that's good news. Wow, darklings go with a stronghold, which I did not expect. Does this mean that they have dreams about connecting? Not having fire 2 is pretty rough for darklings in terms of making this town. I guess they can put their landscape down in TP. Here's fire 2 for fakirs. You like to see that. They grab probably a ship town and maybe a priest town, honestly. Yeah, they're gonna have at least down to 2 stuff on their board, possibly just 3 stuff on their board. They're not on a scoring tile, which is fortunate, but I am very surprised that darklings went with this instead of building a temple for fire 2. And they took a coin town too, which is very unfortunate. Fakirs took a coin town, so what are they doing exactly? I mean, I told them to pass on the 7 coins, but they don't need this many resources. In any case, this can't be bad for me, that my opponents are taking the weaker towns, I think. Oh, no, I'm not making that town. No. That cannot possibly be the right kind of form. But we will be able to make a town with each of our next actions. This is a town, this is a town, this is a town. And then I'm probably not getting the double spade, but maybe I can get a single spade. I'll advance my ship again. So hopefully I can build I4. I am a little nervous that darklings took a coin town when they have this many coins. I think that might mean that they're looking to advance ship and try to connect. That's not a bad idea. They might beat me on network, but that also might mean that I lose I4, which is a hex that I do want. So I am going to take this leech. I do think that cultists need to... I don't know that making that TP was correct for cultists. I think that cultists more importantly want to make a stronghold. Making a stronghold is definitely correct for cultists here. After they do that, they could just advance their digs. That's what I would do as cultists, I think. Stronghold, dig, advance for the rest of this game. And it looks like there's no rush on towns anymore. So I can actually afford to think about what towns I want. Fakirs go and secure some hexes. I think that that's great. They might get B1 as well. If I'm darklings, I might dig that, but whatever. I think that the 8-pointer is a lot of resources because it comes with 6 power, so I think that we just start with the 8-pointer. Six power. I think I was able to take 6 power. We'll down convert again. Do not use. Do not use. Okay. I might need a ship town here. Oh wait, the ship towns are gone, so I might need a coin town here. That's a little sad, but I think I can afford to take. Oh, actually, I can't even take a coin town, huh? maybe I'm a little more stuck than I think I am. But like, I would really like to build this guy, and this guy. So maybe my next action should really be to advance ship. I can advance ship and still get out all my stuff. So that would put darklings basically into a position of, do I want to kill these blue hexes? Because I can, obviously this is safe. So I think that I need 4 coins to advance ship and 4 coins to build these 2 hexes. I assume that I'm not getting G3. And then 2 coins for this. So I need 10 total coins. 10 coins by going through here. Cultists, for some reason, make their stronghold down there. I guess they don't want to take any more cult steps. So they would rather give it to darklings who are going to decline leech than to me. That makes a fair amount of sense to me. Darklings do grab G3. So I think I'll advance ship now, and then if I'm able to get A4, then I will. Otherwise, I'll just take I4. The other thing, I guess, is, are Darklings going to get a town that I want? I think the answer is there's 2 towns left to form. I guess they could. There's 3 like really high victory point towns left, and then this 7-pointer isn't too bad either. I think I could be happy with either the priest town or the 8-pointer. Even though the 8-pointer isn't quite as good, I think that it might swing fakirs versus fakirs. So fakirs want to make 2 more TPs and 2 more dwellings. Fakirs are a little priest short. They buy a priest. Seems good. Yeah, so Darklings are going to take one of the priest towns, I think. That's fine. Cultists, I think, still can advance their digs, so I think that that's what they should do. Advance your digs. That gets you to 120. Pass, that gets you to 128. And then you get 150, and then you get 28 victory points from this. That's 156. That's quite a nice score. And I think that that probably beats Darklings, right? Darklings should be able to get a town now. I get A4. That makes me happy. I get both A4 and I4, actually. Both of those make me happy. I probably don't need those, because it does look like Darklings won't connect, so I don't strictly need these dwellings to beat them on network. I'm never catching fakirs here. They're going to get down to 2 stuff on their board, which is pretty crazy. No town, please. Yeah, cultists advanced their digs last round. They should just advance their digs again here, I think. They could send the priest to fire to defend it, but that's a lot of commitment. Especially with the priest gone. I don't think that I can really afford to go up there. So yeah, cultists just advance their digs again. They will end at 156 points. It's a very solid showing, given how poorly I thought that they were doing. And I really didn't like this start, but I think that Darklings might have hurt both themselves and cultists with the way that they played. So Darklings do this. They're going to be able to drop their landscape on I-10. So that's a nice extra boost of points. Darklings are also on the dwellings tile, so they are going to end this game with a monster number of points. I think that they were definitely supposed to take A4 from me. This is... I think that this was the correct hex for fakirs there, but whatever. So fakirs are going to get 3 more points from a temple, from a TP. Then they're going to get 6 more points from flying. And they're going to end the game with 10 coins. So that's 3. Hey Zach, how's it going? I was just saying, I'm pretty surprised by how well you did overall. Like it did seem pretty rough, but um, I really didn't like starting H7. But I think that Darklings made big mistakes by not just like taking these hexes away from you. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that Darkling's error might be enough for you here to at least escape last place. I'm looking at fakirs here, and I think that they have 3 plus 6 is 9 more points, plus 3 resource points is 12. So that's going to get them to 147. 147, they win network outright. That's 165. They are going to be ahead of you. 165, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points here. 171. Do I have 171 in me? I guess I'd have to start out just by taking the best towns, and then we'll see. Oh, you thought that black and blue were... Yeah, okay, so that makes a lot more sense, because I think that cultists were probably the wrong faction to bid on to begin with, right? Cultists weren't that good here, and I was confused why you were bidding them, like, right away. Um, so, so yeah, I guess the fact that you didn't know that, like, exactly what hexes you could cheaply dig would explain why you built where you did. Um, yeah, cultists want to take yellow hexes. They want yellows and blacks for cheap. I think I said it was 171 for fakirs, right? Do I have 171? I have 12 points in network. I have one more town for 13 points. So the town is going to put me at 150. And then I have 150, 162. Yeah, I have that. Okay, so I should have this game. You still have no idea what you're doing. 2 or 3 times you played as cultists, it would have been a lot better. Yeah, I mean, so the most important thing when you're bidding, in my opinion, is just to recognize that one of the worst factions to be is the faction that's stuck in the center of a color wheel. And that's where you were this game. You were stuck in the center of the color wheel. You've never seen the Giants in a game. Interesting. I mean, I could send these priests to fire, but I think that I would rather just... I'm the only player left, so I should be able to do this. It's just as many points. Fakirs and mermaids were the 2 best factions to bid on. I think that there are some issues with fakirs here because now, admittedly, they wound up doing very well because no one wound up playing this temp ship tile anyway. However, this ship VP tile, fakirs can't score points on the ship VP tile, and that is a very, very strong way for other factions to make points. So that's like one fewer. Like playing with one less pass tile is bad, but then playing with two less pass tiles because of this temp ship tile is even worse. And then round 6 towns. Fakir's got 2 towns here. That doesn't always happen. There are worlds where Darklings open temp ship and they dig B2 in round 1, and then Fakirs are only playing a 1-town game with round 6 town scoring. So I think that there were lots of issues with Fakirs from the get-go. Fakirs are also kind of a fragile faction, so even having one color neighbor, especially if it's cultists, is really tough for them. Now that said, I mean, Fakirs wound up doing absolutely fine. I think that, admittedly, Darklings made some mistakes, I think. I don't think that the stronghold line was necessarily the right one to go, but it did wind up being okay for them, so I can't hate too much. But yeah, my logic is that round 6 towns games, naturally good for mermaids, because mermaids can set up their towns. They can have their towns ready to take and still not take them right away, right? Because mermaids have the ability to delay making their towns. That's really good for mermaids. And then on top of that, mermaids are really good at expanding. They're really good at grabbing territory. And then given this color wheel, it's really, really good. I think that in a game where yellow is in, mermaids are better because they're almost guaranteed to have neighbors where they want them. That's another great thing about mermaids. And yeah, like the other factions have big disadvantages from being sandwiched in their color wheels. So I think that mermaids were the best by like 10 points or more, and then no one bid on mermaids. So this is not like an unexpected result to me in terms of points. I do think Darklings were the second best faction, and they were bid that way. If we add 15 points here, then Darklings would be in second place. So this is roughly the order that I did think that the factions were in. So this isn't too shocking of an outcome, I think. I am a little surprised. Sorry, there's a fruit fly in front of me. I'm a little surprised that I didn't manage to tie network, but Fakirs played very, very effectively to get all these hexes. They threw away 3 points by not templing, I believe. And I also think that they really made a mistake, in my view, by opening with this big building instead of opening with another temple. They got 4 points for the big building, but they would have gotten 4 points for the temple as well. And they spent a lot of time buying priests. I think that if Fakirs just temple correctly, they probably win this game. I really think that all those priests could have added up to this. So, all right. So I guess we'll take a quick look at the scoring breakdown, and then we'll try to wrap it. So we advanced on our ship. We dug a lot, which makes sense. Is it really right to decline single leech by cultists? You got triggered by that. I think that declining leech from cultists is always defensible. I'm not going to say that it's wrong to decline leech from cultists. That said, I think that there should be some context specificness as well, because, like, so here's how I see it, right? If cultists are doing really well, then you want to decline them leech, right? If you think that cultists are going to do well, you want to decline them leech. However, in this case, you are not doing very well, and I don't really see why Darklings would let you have this hex unless they wanted to take your leech, right? Like, they just randomly let you have this town. I think that is perfectly fine to decline cultist leech, but I think that Darklings made the wrong move here. They could have benefited from having a few more resources. Like, they ended with 6 coins. What was that coin town all about, right? They could have just taken an 8-pointer. Yeah, like, basically, if, like, I think that your starting spot, I will say I think your starting spot was quite wrong. I don't think that you were supposed to start here at all, right? I think that you were supposed to start on F5. That's not a town spot, but maybe you get a bridge town through here. You box Darklings in so that they can't get another town. But yeah, like, you were never supposed to get this G6 hex, right? But why did Darklings give you this G6 hex? You have to imagine they gave you this hex so that they would get leech from you. But they didn't take the leech from you. So I think that was like, This was just kind of bad from everyone here. Um, so over here, we got 2 coins actions. We got 1 spade action, got 1 bridge. We didn't take any of like the less good power actions this game, which is great. We pass on to the spade twice, which is pretty great. We actually didn't get that many coins this game, which makes sense. We didn't take fire 1. We didn't really pass on to the 7 coins tile either. Instead, I think we heavily relied on... Yeah, we didn't get that many coins this game. We heavily relied on taking the coins from the 7 coins, and I converted a lot. I think that I took a fair amount of leech. Oh, I didn't pay that many victory points in leech. Structures, though, I got quite good leech. Fakirs got even better leech. That makes sense. That round 1 leech party and darklings just building all around them was pretty fantastic. So over here, we didn't get as many workers as we would like. Remember yesterday, we got like 44 workers yesterday as treasurers. That's like the amount that you could be getting. You think that you're doing well in our turn-based? Let's take a quick look at our turn-based. I don't think that you're necessarily going to be end up in 4th. I do think that I decided to bid on Chaos Magicians early in a round 4 towns game, so I will say that that's a bit of an issue. We'll take a look at that in a second. Over here, so yeah, we got some good favor tile points. Fakirs got even better. That makes sense. We are slightly better on the scoring track. This is almost solely the result of the extra town that we got, which is huge. And we got the best towns, which I think is also really important. We got 2 8-pointers and a 9-pointer. It's hard to beat that in terms of total town points. And we passed pretty well. We passed onto the ship tile twice for 12. We passed onto the dwellings tile for 7. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, everyone had a pretty decent passing game, I think. And we did well in the cults. I think that it was a good like that round 5, I think, was really huge for me because I managed to get everything that I wanted. I managed to get coins. I got a bridge. I got the last priest of water. I got water, and I got water 1. I don't think I was supposed to get all 4 of those things. Or there was a world where I didn't get any of those 4, some combination of those 4 things. But I did manage to get them all. And that, I think, was huge. And yeah, that's basically the story there, right? I had the most end game points. I had the most town points. I passed well, and I still got these scoring tile points. So mermaids were supposed to be probably bid down by like 10 more, maybe 15, maybe 20 more. I really think that they were that good. I think fakirs kind of played both better and worse than they were supposed to be, which is kind of a weird thing to say. But yeah, I think that that's how that went down. Because if fakirs go double temple instead of the route that they went, I think fakirs are winning this game. I really do. I think that the extra priest production was just so good for them that they could have just won the game with that. And then they sanctuary for fire 2 at the end, or sanctuary for water 1 later. That's this game. I will take a look quickly over here. Our turn-based game is going... You are darklings here? Yeah, I mean, you're doing great here, right? Like, I'm not going to say too much of the strategy here, but yeah, I mean, it looks like you're going to be building at least 1 more dwelling in this dwelling round. You don't have a scoring favor yet, but as darklings, I really think that you can probably get your temple out for your scoring favor in this round, whether it's earth 1 or water 1. As long as you're able to secure your town spots, you're going to be pretty well off this game, I think. So we will see how that goes. I am playing Chaos Magicians in this game, which I think I probably just like Chaos Magicians a little too much whenever I can get them. But like this is not great, right? Like round 6 towns, I might only have 1 town. So you decide to go to temple and send priest to fire, slow cultists down. It's interesting that you say that. So I'm guessing that you're saying that you think that you slowed cultists down by sending this priest to fire. I will say I don't think that slows cultists down that much at all. What really would have slowed cultists down is if you hold on to that priest, you play the round slow, you stop cultists from taking the double dig. So here's my contention with this, right? Cultists really wanted to double dig last round, and you let them. But when you start next to cultists as darklings, you start with a priest in hand, and you had 2 priests. So if cultists use their double spade, they can only secure one of these hexes. After that, you grab the other hex. I think that that's actually the real way to slow cultists down. It's to not let them build dwellings. Now they might have 2 town spots, but I mean, it's like that might not have been obvious to you. I think that a lot of players kind of just instinctively understand that. Like when you play with cultists and darklings both on base map, it becomes really tricky as cultists to use your double spade because darklings have that built-in spade. They could just grab one of those hexes from you. But I mean, I don't want to say that what you did was wrong. I think that you played it fine. I think that you played a pretty good game so far, and yeah, you didn't think about that. So one way that you can do that is by like spading and not building, right? Like you did spade G6, you could have just spaded that and not built it. That would have forced cultists into doing stuff next round. But in any case, you know what? We can discuss all that later. I think that this game is great. Like there's obviously like a good amount of chatter going into this game, so we can continue to discuss all those decisions then. For now, I am going to sign off. I have the day basically free to myself today, so there is a reasonable chance that I'll be streaming sometime this afternoon. So why do I have phone verification required to chat, Bruce? I have no idea. That's a Twitch thing. I have to assume that that has something to do with. I have to assume that the chat has something to do with like your Twitch settings, or yeah, like maybe you're signed in like somewhere new. I have no idea. I don't know how to disable that. But yeah, we will hopefully be back later today. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for the games, Zach. Hopefully we'll be back with some more Terra Mystica sometime. So yeah, I will look into it. See you guys.